fractured. A new global order emerges, dominated by three powers.
Stop calling Trump's foreign policy chaos. It's actually a map. He told Putin do whatever the hell he wants in Europe. He told Taiwan pay up like it's an insurance policy. China gets Asia and the Americas, well, that becomes Trump's personal fortress. We're breaking down the New World Order live. Craig Crawford here, a retired journalist working for nothing but the truth and Social Security checks, and I'm pleased that Stir Williger today, or Stir Williger, is on here today. You ready for the New World Order?
I'm ready, yeah, I guess. Yeah. It looks that way.
It's like the old, if they tell you who they are, believe them.
Yeah. It's
Oh, look here. I know you used to be a fan. Look here what I got.
who that?
Can you see that? Can you see that?
Imus.
that's
What's
my
that
mug.
say after it? Ranch.
Imus Ranch.
How you get that?
Ribera, New Mexico. I was on set one time on his show, and Charles McCord gave that to me.
Found that 46% of Danes believe the US poses a very big or fairly big threat, surpassing concerns about North Korea or Iran.
So the Danish think we're a security threat.
I would think so, yeah.
And,
yeah, I don't see how it wouldn't be.
oh, there's Jack. Oh, Jack's you got an interesting hat on today.
It's my Mrs. Jack made this hat for me, and really? we did it at a Halloween function, and we went, I think, as Boris and Natasha or something like that.
Well, we got Stir on here today.
International spies. Here's my thought: is I think I have observed this. I did a little research today just to make sure I knew what I was talking about. But
no, we don't do that.
One is the one thing Trump does is he's treating Europe like New York City or any other blue state, California or whatever. And so you have that problem. I think you're right in that he's elevating Putin far higher than Putin should be. Trump and Putin kind of, if you do the little, circle, Venn diagram circles, where they come together is right there in the right-wing parties in Europe. And they're both supporting them. And
then the other part of my theory is it makes sense for what Trump's doing we'll start with Venezuela, but even the stuff that he said about Greenland and Canada. He has this worldview that Europe belongs to Russia, Asia belongs to China, and all of the Americas belong to me. I think that's his worldview.
Yep, very 19th century.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's a very limited view. In that previously, basically, the United States, after World War II, viewed that they owned the world.
Really pretty good.
The United States, under the Trump administration, and the Kremlin share one rather important strategic goal in foreign policy, which they both believe that a weak European Union or even a disintegrated European Union is a preferable foreign policy goal. And the Kremlin is pleased, and they've made very clear, not just with Trump's Politico interview, but also with the national security strategy. The Kremlin is broadly aligned with the goals that are elucidated there. Now, usually, in this environment, if the Kremlin says they like what you're doing, you probably should rethink what you're doing.
Yeah.
And certainly European leaders, almost all of them, perhaps not Viktor Orban in Hungary, but almost all of them, are going to be deeply concerned about what they've heard from the Trump as president, as also from the Trump administration over the past few days, that feels like the United States is becoming an adversary. And, you know, Europe has a lot of adversaries these days.
And what about this national security strategy? I mean, is it reshaping expectations when it comes to any Ukrainian peace deal? And
did you see that, what he's talking about there, Jack, that national security strategy? The thing about that, it's a document that, you know, that the U.S. produces, you know, analyzing our threats around the world, but it reads like something that Trump himself wrote for a government document. It reads like one of his tweets. I mean, where he's just trashing Europe and bragging on himself. And I mean, I can see why Europe just freaked out at this thing. I mean,
it's I think Trump, everything for Trump is about Trump. So it's where he does business. You know, like I was saying, the sovereign wealth funds there in the Gulf states are very important to him. And I don't know, his whole deal with Europe, I think maybe very much because he keeps running up against European bureaucracy, and it's pissed him off. Every time he tries to do something, they regulate him too much.
I think it's a real puzzle to try and figure out what his animosity towards Europe comes from. I've spent a lot of time analyzing that man and reading about his background and everything. And one thing I always thought was odd, that growing up so wealthy, that his family was so wealthy, and he had a mother who was born in Scotland, but they did not travel. They did not go abroad at all. I mean, you know, he didn't do the tour of Europe as a kid or something. You know, one of the striking things in his first term, I remember when he went to the first NATO meeting or something in Europe, and the story was that it was his first time that he had been there as president, and so I always thought that was odd. That he had he has no background with Europe at all. I mean, but that doesn't really explain why he's so hostile toward it.
Well, all of it, I think most of his wives came from basically, I guess, what we'd call backward European countries at the time.
True.
You know.
Yeah, that's actually another point. Is he married? I guess Marla Maples wasn't from, but Ivanka and Melania. Huh. Well, and of course, another interesting thing about his background in his early career, well, actually up until maybe in his 50s or so, when he was getting started in real estate in Manhattan, he always claimed that his ancestors, his grandfather, was from Norway, but he was from Germany. And back, you could see bios and profiles of Trump from those days in his early. And the thinking is that you know, when he was getting started in Manhattan real estate, that there were a lot of Jewish business leaders there, that he didn't want them to know that he came from Germany, that his grandfather was German. And I guess, I don't know, but he always claimed that his grandfather was from Norway. I mean, really.
That may have been what his father decided. You know,
could be.
When you're his father's age, there were several times when it was not popular to be of German descent, and a lot of people either changed their name or changed their ethnicity. Yeah,
that definitely could be, because I think That may be where he got it.
Hmm.
It's possible.
I have no idea where Trump gets what he does.
Okay, I'm Lady Mau Mau, Craig's built-in emergency brake. If this wasn't enough for you, sign up for the newsletter. It's free, it's thoughtful, and it occasionally makes sense.